What podcast reviewer 37 describes as an indiscriminate hellish ride that I would not wish on my worst enemy. The industry's elite have said time and again, man, fuck those guys. Get ready, if your ears had butts, they'd about to be fucked. Welcome to the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show.
Oh, yeah. That is the wonderful sound of another magnificent episode of the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Starting off, we're going to be coming out the gate with some fucking weird-ass fucking topics today, I feel like.
It never hurts.
Nope, it never hurts. But to also highlight, we are... No, I'm not going to say that yet. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it till the end of the month or till the beginning of August. But if you do want to help and support us, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com where you can listen to all of our podcasts. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to fucking go there and be, these assholes want me to fucking, spend money and nah, man. This is free shit for y'all. Like, we're just trying to help you out, entertain you a little bit. And if you want to fuck around with us and find out on social media, you can go to Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. If you want to follow Adam over here, because that's who's with me today, you can go to at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and hear all the shit talking he does to fucking about musical shit.
Because it's funny.
It's funny, yeah, it's hilarious. Anyways, all right, so. Do you have anything for this before I just go into it, or?
I guess I was just thinking of what the... How do I word this?
I don't know. How do you word it?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Because we're already doing everything we need to do, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. And I really don't need anything additional. Like, sure, it'd be great to make money off of this, but I will say, developing a routine and just being productive in some ways, I think the dividends have paid for itself.
Oh, yeah. I think they definitely have. And I think it's made a, I don't know what to call it, like a difference in the... I don't know, just the overall way I think that our lives go now. I mean, it gives something to focus on, gives something to not just be aimlessly. It's purpose, man.
It is.
It's purpose.
It is purpose. I think knowing that whatever I do, every interest that I have can now be something that can make me money.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that's an option now.
And not that I truly care about this, because I feel the way I feel about certain things, but it is also nice to know that other people exist that feel the same way about something.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's saying that anything that I do or have an interest in is not going to waste. It's not just I do it for the week or I do anything for the day, and that's where it ends. I do something about it. We record these podcast episodes, and it's something productive that other people can enjoy as well.
And that other people do enjoy. Proven with numbers and statistics and math that people do enjoy this. I don't know how many of them do, but it's enough to where they keep coming back for more. They keep asking for more. And we'll keep giving it to them.
Shit.
And even when they're not asking for it, we're still going to give it to them anyways. I mean, basically, we're holding you against your will and, having our way with you. Verbally.
So, to summarize all this, this continues to be a fun project And somebody keeps telling me spreadsheets. Spreadsheets is the result, is the recipe for success for anything. Spreadsheets, and I'm just I hate I told this person, I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about your fucking spreadsheets. I'm fucking tired of hearing about your goddamn spreadsheets. So what's the first thing I do?
Make a fucking
spreadsheet so we can just not plan out, but keep track of the numbers on a daily basis and on a weekly basis for the next 5 months or for the remainder of 2024. So that is something I did to step up to add on to this business or project that we're working on.
True, because we technically already have the whiteboard, well, the analog version of a spreadsheet being the whiteboard in the garage. And that's also been working on the macro level, month to month, quarter to quarter. Now we have an actual spreadsheet for day to fucking day, man. And just like that fucking thing really, I feel like that thing took us to the next level. Maybe spreadsheets are going to be the thing that lets us go to the next level above that.
I think it will, because I think I might end up, if I'm not stupid enough, I might use those numbers to create a graph, or the thing I want to find out is what days are working the best for us for streaming numbers. And then I think I already have an idea, but I just need to confirm it with an actual chart.
Yeah.
Like a heat map thing, kind of, to say this is where we do the weakest during the week. Because some of the shit, I do not understand some of the things that happen. Especially this past week with 124 streams in one day, especially on the weekend.
Sunday.
I figure you guys listening have a million things to do, and the fact that you picked it up, you're picking up the podcast and listening to them on the weekend, is just very, it's very fucking odd. It's appreciated, but it's just...
It is. It's very appreciated. And I do think it's also indicative of the shitty economy that we have right now, and people don't have money to go do stuff, so... I mean, we're free. Like, we're free. You don't got to pay shit. The cost of entry is an internet connection, and everyone already has that by default. And generally, everyone has a cell phone, so the barrier to entry is extremely low. And if you've listened to us before, and we can, take what? Because if we can take maybe amongst the 4 podcasts that we release at a time, generally, if we can eat, anywhere between 2 and 4 hours of a day for you to like entertain you, to get you through it, hey man, cool, mission accomplished. We have done something with we are winning now. We are successful. We're all winning. You win because you get entertained. We win because we're entertaining you. So it's all good. But It is strange, though. I do agree with you. It is very strange.
I don't know if that's going to happen more frequently. I kind of figured that maybe the meat of the week, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, is the time people would catch up on things or be interested because they're trying to distract themselves from maybe their work or whatever. But I never expected the weekends to be the days that things would pick up. But anyways, that's all just... things that are going on behind the scenes, like
the meta of Game Rage. But yeah, I have to say, I'm sure we're going to talk about this more on whatever the episode for August is going to be with the final numbered count for July.
True.
And analyzing that, but I will say I am still pleasantly surprised. Still pleasantly surprised at where we're at. Didn't think we'd be even close to talking about this. I was thinking, end of year 1, we'll be like, cool, we're consistently getting like 500 a month. We'll maybe break that 500 and be able to do it consistently.
Yeah.
And now we're eyeballing 4 times that amount.
Oh yeah. I think I want to add on to this as well a little bit, not directly related to this subject, but I don't know what this means, but I do think I've been seeing a lot of horrible shit on social media.
That's true.
And it works. And I don't know what that means. It works. I will say I've lost quite a bit of followers, but I've also inversely have seen people consistently show up in my stories to see what I have to say. And I wonder what's the breaking point for people to say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look away at some point because they can't help it.
Yeah.
They can't help it. It's a car crash and they have to look.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I think that's okay. Again, with the wrestling, we'll probably go on another tangent on this for later on to recap the month or whatever. But real quickly, that's kind of how it is for the wrestling stuff. Because we're saying things that are so fucking against the norm and the grain, our opinions are different. People are just losing their mind, and it's working. I'll tell you what, on TikTok, based on all these arguments, even on Instagram, we've only gained followers. We haven't lost anybody from the horrible shit we've said on the other platforms for the Game Rage channel. So I think that we also have the benefit of, I think some of the people, you should tell me you do that with a microphone.
Sorry.
Like, it's lucky for us that we don't really know anybody who's a follower. And that's one of the things that I kind of want. I'll point it out now. We could expand. This will be a teaser for the first BFN episode in August that you'll hear. But that's one of the things that I've noticed is that most people have a lot of friends, right? That like anybody you meet as an acquaintance, you trade your fucking Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, your social media accounts, right? Like that's kind of what people do now. And I see people with like, oh yeah, they got a bunch of followers, but it's like all people they've met in person or that they know that are like friends. So it's like superficial numbers of followers. Whereas every single one of our followers, with the exception of basically each other, like we don't really know any of our followers. Especially on like TikTok, man. I don't, and Twitter for sure. I know 0 people on Twitter that follow us. So it's crazy that not having that crutch to that maybe initial boost where, oh yeah, if you know like 500 or 600 people, oh cool, you'll probably start off with 400, 500, 600 followers, right? And then, other people see that and say, oh yeah, they already got like 500. Oh cool, maybe I'll follow them. Whereas we're having like the inverse problem. We don't know anybody, and like our number count is going slowly up. It's not going down.
Yeah,
it's going slowly up. So it's weird, but
I'm also. And yet to go on yet another fucking tangent, I am a little agitated that I've been hearing stories from other people or just accounts of people's lives from just people I know.
Yeah.
And they've had some good things happen to them, and I'm like, that's fucking great. And it just drives that pure hatred within my heart to know that we're not getting help with anything.
Yeah.
I want to know who's looking out for fucking us, dude. Because sure, we're barely in year 1, right? But other people have been fortunate enough to have other people help them. And I'm thinking, when the fuck is that going to happen to us, dude? Like, we've been looking out for other people. We reached out to them to interview them and do all these things and did all the legwork to do the interviews, to come up with the questions, to make content centered around the person that we're interviewing.
Yeah. Some great PR content, by the way. Like, man, people would pay thousands of dollars for the PR that we gave, the clips and shit. Like, people pay tons of money for that stuff. We just gave it away for free to these people.
But I don't know. I think about the future and I wonder if we're just going to keep pushing ourselves and we will have nobody to thank, or will there be people that show up for us eventually?
Personally, I kind of hope we don't have anybody like above us help us. I want to get to their level on our own. So then when we get there, we can say we truly did it and we don't owe anyone anything. And that right there to me is when we're going to be the most dangerous.
Yeah.
Because we won't owe anyone any fucking favors. We won't owe anybody shit. and we're popular, oh man, talk about the fucking like nerd girl who had a glow up for prom. Oh, that's gonna be us. The fucking girl with the buck teeth and the fucking overalls. Like, what was that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I don't fucking know.
She's all that, man.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that.
Why would you bring that up?
I don't know, because I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know. I like those stupid movies. From the 90s, the late 90s. But that's gonna be us, man. We're gonna show up to the prom and fucking all those, and they're gonna be like, oh, fuck, man. Damn, we fucked up. We should have been on that. We should have been on there nuts fucking from day one. But you weren't. Now you're not gonna. Now you ain't getting a crack at this ass. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's better it works out that way, because we get people helping us, then that maybe influences our opinion on certain things as well.
Well, and it also says, hey, because then someone can come to us and say, hey, you know what, guys, we're not gonna really help you out anymore because we don't like this one thing you guys did. Or you can remove it and then we'll keep helping you. And then it's like, now you're telling us what to do. Get the fuck out of here. That's the whole reason why we're doing this, is so no one can tell us what to do. No one except for us can tell us what to do. That's it. We're our own masters. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck it. Anyways, all right.
How long did that carry for?
17 minutes.
Okay.
So, not bad. So, I had two things that I wanted to talk about today. The first is these fucking weird-ass dreams I've been having, man. I don't know if this is a sign. Somebody told me, I think Katie told me this, that all these like crazy dreams is a sign of ADD or ADHD or something. Because your imagination is so fucking overly active that even when you sleep, you can't like turn it off. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably when I'm gonna die, when I'm like fucking, early 60s or some shit.
Because
like
of ADHD?
Well, it's because it's like your brain can never turn off. So like, like when your computer, like if you leave your computer on 24/7 and never turn it off, eventually it'll just shit out because it's been on too long. But like, I feel like your brain's like, I'm gonna get Alzheimer's when I'm like fucking 60.
I don't know about that. I was about to say the opposite. You won't get Alzheimer's because you won't stop thinking.
Oh man, maybe you're right. Shit, maybe that's the key. Oh man, medical breakthroughs here on the Buttfuck Nowhere show. Maybe you're right. Damn, you know what? I'm gonna start looking at it that way, and then maybe I will. I'll will it into existence, just like I will numbers into existence.
Yeah.
For fucking the podcast. But okay, so I don't know why these fucking weird ass dreams I've been having have been centered on like apocalyptic fucking things. And I'm not trying to say, just for the record, I'm not trying to say I'm like prophetic or I'm able to predict the future. I don't want anybody to fucking get that idea. But I don't see how you could think that I'm being prophetic, because these dreams are fucking ridiculous. So it's like me, you, and Frank, and like a bunch of other people that we know, and these like nuclear bombs have gone off, and now we're basically just like on our own. We're like surviving on our own, right? And so we got guns and everything, and like we're like running stuff. And so there's this little situation, like this dream goes around for like, man, it carried over for like 3 days straight. Like this fucking dream of like the initial things where it was like we were hanging out, and I think it was me and you, and then I think we were actually recording a podcast or some bullshit, and all of a sudden, like, it just gets super bright, and we're like, what the fuck? And we're like, oh, fuck, man. We just see the mushroom clouds, and we're like, God damn it. And then I'm like, well, this will be cool as long as we don't die of radiation poisoning. And we're like, yeah, all right, cool. So then, like, turns out that they were like, I don't know, something that was like inert, so it didn't have this huge, like, radioactive area. It was only like within the first like mile of where the bomb went off. Oh, that was radioactive. Everything else was like good.
So like Chernobyl.
Kinda, yeah. And so we were like, all right, sweet. So like we're not gonna die of radiation poisoning. Hell yeah. All right. So now this is gonna be fun. And so then we like start robbing places, and we're like, dude, we went to this gas station that's like over down the street. And what's so strange to me is that I subconsciously know this because I've observed it, where I've seen them go out. They have these two like shipping containers, and that's where they keep. It's the Shell on it's the Shell on 6th Street over there, right by the freeway entrance, next to that Carl's Jr. And they have these two shipping containers outside of there, and that's where they keep all their extra shit, like the food, the water, the Gatorade, the beer, everything. So, and it's just padlocked or whatever. And so I'm like, oh, hey, let's go fucking raid that gas station, because what are they gonna do? There's like 2 guys working there. We can just shoot them and fucking take whatever the hell we want. So we roll over there, sure as shit, everybody's in line to get gas or whatever. So we're like, all right, cool. We sneak around the back, and shit's just, no one's around, fucking clickety-clack, and just start filling up all of our cars with fucking just free shit. And I'm like, oh, this is so great. We start taking, I'm like, hey, we need stuff to barter with, so let's start taking cigarettes and alcohol too, because that's also where they keep all the extra cigarettes and alcohol. So we literally cleared out like almost these 2 fucking things. And I'm like, hell yeah, made multiple trips. Like, it was the best. So then we come back, and something ends up happening where there's these guys in this van, and there's like 2 dudes in the front, there's 2 ladies in the back, and then I think there were some like kids in like the 3rd row of the van. And so we roll up, and they have been like following us. So like we pull off, they get out, we get out, and they get out, and they're like, oh, hey, where you guys headed? And I'm like, fuck you, none of your business. And so they're like, oh, well, we're here to rob you. And we were like, fucking, I pulled up my shirt and fucking had a gun in my waistband. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're not. And they were like, oh, we could do that. And so then they fucking pull out guns. And so then we get into this weird little gunfight, right? And I go and I'm hiding behind a car, and shots are going everywhere. And we're like outside in the front of my house, right? And so everything's going crazy. And I don't know why, but man, in every fucking dream, without fail, this must be like a subconscious big fear of mine. Every time I get into a gunfight in a dream, my gun doesn't work for some reason. Like, either I pull the trigger and the magazine falls out, or like I have the wrong magazine and I'm trying to load it and I'm like, the fuck is, or like I'll have everything be good, I'll do it, it's a dud, I fucking do it, it's a dud. So every fucking time. So I have this rifle, and I'm trying to put the magazine in, it fits. Every time I pull the trigger, the magazine falls out. And I'm like, God damn it. And these dudes are shooting at me, it's just whizzing by. And I'm like, oh, well, great, this is where I'm gonna die. Okay, I guess this is it. And so they they shot a couple of dudes that were like on our side, but like I didn't really know who they were. And so out of nowhere, from behind, I just hear, hey. And I look back and I see, no fucking joke, 1997, shredded, coke coming out of his nose, Lex Luger, like behind me, and he's in his ring gear, like he's got just a fucking little bikini on, and he's got those straps around his biceps, and he's got those things on his boots, and he's just got tons of guns. He's got a Rambo bandana on, and he's just got like 2 M60s like fucking Rambo, and he's like, you call for backup? And I was like, like I knew him. I'm like, hell yeah, I did, brother. And then he was like, let's take it. And then out from behind him pops out 1997 bright ass face paint Sting, and he's got like all these other fucking guns, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And so I'm like, hey, let me get one of those, because like my shit's fucked up. And they're like, not hearing me. They're just ignoring me now. They're they're just shredding this van. They're killing the kids. They're fucking murdering everyone in this fucking van. And so one of the guys like squirted out and he starts running away. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta go get that guy. And so this guy was a little chubby, okay? The guy who I was gonna be chasing.
Portly.
Well, portly. And so as I'm running, I just hear like these like stomps coming up, like I hear him get louder and louder from behind, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I just blow by me, no shirt, dark black jeans, Scott fucking Steiner. And he's just literally yelling, he's fat, he's fat, he's fat, he's fat, as he's chasing me, and he just fucking tackles this dude. And he killed him just without even, he killed him by tackling him to the ground. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty sweet. And so then he's like, I was like, hey man, you got an extra, piece? Cause like I fucking, my shit was broken or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah man, I don't need it, here, take mine. And he pulls out my thing and he pulls out this gun and he hands it. He's got this like fucking golden Desert Eagle and he just fucking hands it to me. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah. So then I'm walking back and I don't know why some other fucking asshole decides to fucking pop out of a bush, points his gun at me. So I point the Desert Eagle at him. We both pull the trigger at the same time and nothing fucking happens. Click, and I'm like, oh shit. So I rack the slide back, a round flies out, and I know, okay, another one's going in. We do the same shit at the same exact time. Pull the trigger, nothing happens again. I'm like, oh shit, we do it a third time. I'm like, fuck, third time's the charm. And we do it again, same exact time, Nothing. And so I see him go to do it a third time, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I flip the gun up and I grab it by the fucking barrel and I just fucking chuck it right at this dude's face. And I hit him with the fucking, like the back strap right in the eye. And he had just slid it back and let it go when I hit him. And as he's fucking going and it basically as it's knocking him back, his arm goes and points like to his right and he pulls the trigger because, you know, that's just like with your momentum, and the gun goes off. And I'm like, oh shit, I would have been dead. And so then I just ran to this dude and just fucking started beating the shit out of him. And so I leave him there, I go back and I walk up and I see they got like a couple of, I see the whole family or whatever that we just murdered is just dead in the street. Like they're just all fucking everywhere. And I go back into this, I don't even know where the fuck this was. It was like I walk into my house and there's like a full morgue in here. Like it's fucking, we got guys on the table. The two guys that died are on the table, right? It's you and Frank, and I fucking forget there was a third guy in there. And I walk in and I'm like, I see the bodies and I'm like, oh, those must have been two of our guys that got killed. And I'm like, oh, who got, all right, who's dead? And then Frank just goes like, oh, it's whatever, so-and-so, and we didn't really know this other guy's name. He was real new. And I said, oh, cool. No main characters got killed. We're good to go. And Frank looks at me and he's like, what the fuck, man? And I was like, what do you mean?
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, he's like, what? He's like, what the why would you say that? And I was like, we didn't know these fucking guys. Like, listen, would I have rather sacrificed you and Adam? No, I'd rather sacrifice two assholes I really didn't fucking know or care about, to be honest with you. Very easy to compartmentalize that and move on. And he's just like, you're a fucking monster. And I'm like, yeah, Frank, that's why we're still alive. And he's just like, that's a good point. And then you were like behind him and you were like, you did that, like that emoji with the thinking, and you were like, that is a really good point. Like, oh my God. And so at the end of it, like I woke up like right after that, and then I just was like, what the fuck? Just and it's those dreams that are real weird, because sometimes I'll know I just had a crazy ass experience and not remember any of it. And then times like this where, holy shit, I remember in explicit detail, I could fucking hear and smell. Like I had tastes in my mouth from fucking shit. I had the dirt, like the taste of dirt in my mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I get up and I'm like, oh, it's gotta be time for me to get up. And I look and I still had like another 2 hours before my alarm was gonna go off. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep. So I roll back over, go to sleep. And the second, like, I don't know how long it took me to fall back asleep again, but it was like I was fucking transported right back into there. And I was like right in the middle of doing something, and fucking Scott Steiner is standing next to me, still no shirt on, shredded as fuck. This wasn't like Scott Steiner nowadays. This was like 90s Scott Steiner with like the late 90s, full fucking shred, like not an ounce of body fat fucking on him, and roided to the gills. And he's literally standing there, and I just got this like Gears of War vibe, because like he kind of also reminds me of Marcus from fucking Gears of War. And he's just mumbling to himself. I don't know if he's like cleaning a gun or he's like doing something. I don't remember that exactly, but he was doing something. He's just like, he's fucking fat and he's a fucking piece of shit. And he's just going on about like, yeah, you know, fuck, we only got 33 and a third chance. And he's like, he's fucking doing all this fucking shit. He's saying all of his catchphrases. And he's like, I'm the big bad booty daddy. Nobody tells the big bad booty daddy what to do. I get freaks 8 days of the week. Blah, motherfucker. And he's just, and I'm just like, I'm like, man, this is cool. And then I thought in my head, I was like, man, would it be inappropriate to ask him for an autograph right now? And then I was like, probably. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, what's he going to sign? I don't even have a pen or anything. It's fucking the apocalypse. And so then I go out, and I think it was you and Frank, and you guys were hanging out with Sting and Lex Luger, and you guys were drinking, like just kicking back shots. And Lex Luger, he's like, oh, hey man, you guys really want to take this party to the next level? And then Frank's like, oh yeah, what do you got, man? You got some like, I don't know, some, what do you say, like mezcal, or you got some crazy. He's like, oh no, man. And he reaches in his fucking tight, like his fucking bikini tights, and he pulls out this, like, you know, like the clowns where they keep pulling out the fucking rag out of their pocket. He pulls out this like 9-foot bag of fucking cocaine. It's just this giant Ziploc bag. It looks like he pulls it out with one hand, sticks his other hand on it, continues pulling it up, takes his hand off of it, pulls it back. He's just pulling this giant. He's like, oh yeah, man, I got some of that nose candy, baby. And then we all look looked at each other and were like, fuck it, you only die once. Fucking we were just snorting this cocaine. And I just remember being like, oh yeah, man. Like, ooh, I was like, now I know what the Macho Man felt every fucking day. Ooh, yeah. Like, oh, it was fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, that was like these weird ass like series of dreams that I had like whatever last week. And it was just fucking weird. I don't know. It was fucking hilarious. Like I have to say, it was a funny ass story. And I don't know where, because I tell Katie sometimes about the weird shit that I have, or I think, or the other day we were doing something and I started going on about, she told me, she said one thing like, oh, whatever. And I was like, I wish a Karen would fucking come up to me and say shit. And I had a full-blown conversation with myself, imitating the Karen and then saying what I would say. And then she just like looked at me and she's like, God, I'm afraid of what goes on inside your brain. And I was like, yeah, you probably should be. I mean, I'm a little afraid sometimes, but like, I'm just used to it. And, but yeah, so that was that. That was the end of that. The other thing, I mean, fuck, man, that's 30 minutes. I don't think the other thing will carry for 30 minutes. But the other thing is, I think I'm having like a reverse midlife crisis.
I don't know what that means.
I don't really know what it means either, but I don't even know if that's the right terminology. But okay, you know when you have like a normal midlife crisis, guys will go revert back to like their early 20s and they'll go like want to get all the shit that they have, like they'll go get a Corvette or like a sports car that they never could afford when they were younger, or they'll do shit like that, right? And they'll go back and like start liking other shit. They'll wear their Letterman jacket from high school. They'll like, you know, I don't know. They like revert back to like what was in their mind, I guess, maybe
their
the
best years.
Yeah, their best years. And so I don't think, like, I think I'm doing the opposite of that. I think I hate everything that fucking that was from my childhood now. Like, I think it was all terrible. And I think it's like, I think that's ascending the matrix. Like, I feel like that's what that is. Because again, that's another thing. The midlife crisis is also designed to like keep you down.
Yeah, it's like
and send you back in time to like waste your current time reliving old memories. Like, honestly, I literally think as I had this revelation yesterday, like last night while I was sitting at my fucking slave matrix job, I was like, I'm selling every fucking Funko Pop I have. I'm selling all that shit. I'm getting rid of everything. Like, I think honestly, I think Funko Pops are now the stupidest fucking thing. It's just like Beanie Babies. What the fuck is wrong with people? The fuck are you doing? Why are you? Is it because we're stuck in that 12 to 17-year-old fucking demographic? Is that what it is? Is that just like the Matrix tricking you into fucking, oh yeah, now you can afford all the things that you never could when you were a kid, but really you can't afford them because, you know, you shouldn't be buying them. But oh yeah, spend your money on them anyways.
Yeah, that's the part. I mean, not to care so much about the money part, but mentioning it anyways.
And so,
what good do they do?
Nothing. I mean, they literally just sit there. Like, they just fucking sit there. And I know that like some of the things that I'm a fan of, like Star Wars, the original Star Wars and the prequel trilogy, right? I am a fan of those because I've watched those multiple times, like even recently. So like, I know I like those things still. Those hold up. I'm kind of curious to see if I were to go back and watch something from my childhood or early teenage years or whatever, and see if it was as good as it, like to see if it's still good today. Because like wrestling is one thing that most of the good stuff holds up to this day. Most of that good stuff is actually better than what they're doing in the last 10 years mostly, I feel like. So I'm curious to know like what things, and that's when I was like talking about doing that, the Chappin' Ass podcast, and just basically making it an anti-nostalgia podcast where we just go back and look at shit and like do reviews of specifically old things and say, all right, this fucking sucked. Why do people like this still? People will still watch. There are assholes on YouTube that will still watch like the old original TMNT fucking cartoon series, right? I haven't watched that since 1995 or whatever. I remember that it was cool and good, But I feel like if I were to go back and watch it now, it would be terrible. Just like I haven't rewatched the third Ninja Turtles movie, the one where they get sent back in time to Japan, since I was a kid, because I know it's gonna suck. I know it's gonna be fucking terrible. And I don't want to ruin the memory, but now now that I've realized the trap that I've been stuck in, I kind of want to fucking ruin it. And I kind of want to just take things that people love, like old properties and franchises, and just fucking tear them apart. And just be like, why do you people still watch this stuff? Why do you still like this? This is hot garbage. And I think that's what it's a reverse midlife crisis. Like this is like the evolution. Like Josh is evolving into fucking what? Like if I go back and play those Pokemon games, the original ones, I'd probably fucking hate it. Just because it's like, this is fucking garbage. I went back and tried to play fucking, because I found my Gears of War Xbox 360 that I still fucking have. I went back and like, to me, that's a piece of history. I'm not probably gonna get rid of that because that's historical as like a gaming console. But I have all the discs and shit, so I was like, oh, let me play the old I loved this Medal of Honor game when it came out in fucking 2009 or 10 or whatever. One of the greatest games I've ever played. I popped that shit in, and I'm like, I played that game for 30 minutes, and I'm like, this fucking sucks ass. This might be the worst fucking video game I've ever played in my life. And it is fucking terrible. And people that go back and like play old games over and over and over again, man, I don't got time to even play the new games, let alone go back and play some game that's probably gonna be shitty compared to what we have currently today. So
It's the same thing for me for music. I don't know why people want to go back and revisit. I mean, when you're younger, yes, like you do want to catch up on things that happened decades before, but as an adult, it's like, man, why aren't we appreciating music that's happening right now? Why is a band like Blink-182 making $500 off a fucking ticket? They had their time, dude. It was the fucking 90s.
yeah,
Let it go.
let it go. You guys fucked up.
Should
You're
be
done.
encouraging that shit, man. Like,
So yeah, so I think that's like an idea for a new anti-nostalgia podcast. Because I think Chappin' Ass is a good name for it because it is gonna piss people off. Because you know how attached people are to these, like, I don't know, it's almost like a religion to worship the old ways and the old things. Like, okay, somebody was asking me, oh man, like, oh, you should go back and like rewatch Game of Thrones. And I'm like, no, because it's probably fucking stupid. Like, if that was only like 10 years ago. And I'll probably go like, man, I already seen this shit. Why do I want to watch this again? This is objectively stupid because I know all the surprises that happen. Well, that's the only appeal the show had. So again, I'll watch the new shit, the Dance with Dragons or whatever the fuck it's called, because I don't really know what happens there. So like, and it's sports entertaining. But you watched the Thousand Beaver movie, right?
Hundreds of Beavers?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, all right. Okay. We'll talk about, if you want to hear us talk about you want to hear my fucking opinion about that, listen to the Game Rage Movies and TV episode about Hundreds of Beavers where you'll hear it, because I have some things to say. But anyways.
I do too. I do too.
Oh, good. But regardless, I think regression is the problem. And I think because again, over the last maybe even 5 years since Chloe was born, I feel like I started going, again, like remember I've talked in the past about my Funko Pop addiction, right? And I don't know how I'm gonna break it. And it was just a fucking matter of mentally overcoming it and realizing, oh, this is fucking stupid. Why do I have all this shit? What am I doing with all of this? This is fucking pointless. And so, like the ones that I have that aren't worth money, I'll probably just give them to Chloe and she can play with them as toys or whatever, right? Or fuck, maybe I'll let Frank come and pick whichever ones he wants to fucking have because he loves those. But I think I have ascended past the need for trinkets and toys, and I want technology and gadgets and shit for this. Like I don't know what my collection I have up there is worth, but let's say it's worth a couple $1,000. Man, that pays for all of our fucking expenses for a couple years. Mm-hmm. So, or buys us some new equipment or some bullshit that we need, right?
So I think that's what needs to be done. So that's my next thing, is to revert, unregress to, well, no, that would be called progress, right? God, I'm an idiot.
The 1984 speed, dude. The undouble plus.
Undouble plus, yeah, the double, triple negative. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. I am going to progress instead of, I was regressing and then stopped. And now I'm slowly progressing, and I think now I'm back to like neutral, and I'm progressing forward now instead of just catching back up to where I fucking was left behind or whatever. And honestly, I kind of think the death of Rooster Teeth really helped me with that. Like, I think that's what really gave me the fucking like full realization. Because that shit was dead. It was terrible. Seeing that shit ass movie that they made, that last movie, which if you want to hear our thoughts on that, you can go listen to the fucking Game Rage Movies and TV episode about me and Frank talking about that. Because that movie, even Frank didn't like it. So maybe that was it. It was just like, go back, go fucking move forward. Quit going backwards. Quit playing the hits. That's the thing. Quit playing the fucking hits only. Just move forward. Come up with some new shit. I don't know. So that's where I'm at with that. Reverse midlife crisis. And I mean, listen, I'm going to be 37 in November, a couple of months here, which is what? The average age of people is what? 70 of men is like 76. So I'm literally peak midlife right now. I am in midlife. But what's funny, midlife, just beginning the prime of my years though. Just beginning the prime time. So interesting. And also, I was thinking that like we should do an episode in September, like on the 1 year anniversary. We should talk about the original like BFN stuff that we did that I found, and just like look at where that was 15 or 16 years ago, and how this was garbage. This was not ready for public consumption. And how it took us through 15 years. I also found the Lazarus book. I found fucking a bunch of shit that we wrote, like 3.5 to 3/4 written fucking books of shit that we just stopped and we're like, oh no, let's go to this new idea. Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's do that. It took 15, well, I guess like, maybe 15. It took like 15 years of that. Maybe 14, because it was 2023. It took like 14 years of that to get to the point where we were like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Now we're just doing this. And then after we do this for a year, maybe then we can revisit some of these ideas. Maybe then we can go look at doing some other things. But we need to stick to one thing and one thing only, which is podcasting. And we've done it for a year, basically, almost now. And I have to say, I kind of did surprise myself because I didn't know if we were going to make it. But I sure was pushing to do it. And look at where we are. Here we are. We've almost done it. So anyways, I think we should do that as like the 1 year anniversary special, like talking about, and I'm going to play the old intro and outro that I made for that too, which is very fucking offensive, and I don't care. It's funny. It's very funny. It's as a preview for the people that don't know, I was doing this thing for the outro where I was essentially comparing Obama to Hitler, and I had all these like speeches that Obama gave and like Hitler speeches next to it, and then like I had George Bush in there, and then I had like all the past like presidents and like comparing them to basically like, saying that they were Hitler. And at the end or back in the intro at the thing, I did like a Mortal Kombat fight. I had round one, and then I did like some bunch of clips of people saying shit. And then Borat is at the end when he says finish him. He's like, my wife, she's very scared man with a chocolate face. It is the funniest. I'm like, God damn it, that's funny. I know it's fucking racist and it's fucked up, but it's God damn it, it's funny. It's not meant to be inflammatory to people. It's meant just to be, it's just comedy, man. Like, it's just funny. Like, it's like you would think that those fucking, I don't know, whatever country he was from, Kazakhstan or some shit, you would think, yes, Kazakhstanians would be racist against black people probably. I'm sure they are, because they probably had never seen a black person in their whole life. So, and that's funny. But whatever. Anyways. All right, well, that's my rant. We've been going for almost 45 minutes, so fuck, we went 15 minutes over. Oh well.
Didn't say more. Didn't struggle for fucking words, which was the point. So, anyways, you got anything else to add?
I also hate clothing real quick.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
As a kid, I used to hate uniforms. Mm-hmm. Now I'm very much in the belief that not having to think about what clothes I want to wear seems like an ideal situation.
Yeah, man. After watching, if you want to hear our takes on the episodes of The Bear, man, Richie and the suit thing in the last 2 episodes, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that might be the way. Just a straight uniform. You wear the same shit every fucking day. And now for me, I don't know, it wouldn't be suits, but like, I mean, I have suits to wear, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like shorts and just a plain colored t-shirt, plain ass shorts. I don't know.
I think in some ways, just to say real quickly, clothing, I hate fashion and I hate clothing. For one reason, I think the people that try to be the most different are really asking for like the most attention, even though they probably think they're being really, I don't know what the fuck it is. 2, it's just something that has control over you, that you have to buy the latest Dolce & Gabbana, you have to buy the latest thing, and it never fucking ends. And it's somebody dictating your life saying you have to have these things in order to have any social status or for whatever the fuck it is. I don't care about clothes that much. And I know people are like, you should buy a suit. You should do all this shit. I don't really give a fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to fucking, I'm not trying to impress anybody, and certainly not based off of my personal fucking taste in clothing, dude. Because that's an object, and you care more about the object than the person itself. Like it's very fucking strange.
You gave me a great idea. All right, we make a clothing line that is the most basic bitch. It's the opposite of fashion, and we call it Going Oppo. And we make it like maybe sports, like we market it to sports people, and it's just like a plain ass fucking shirt, $96, and a tiny little logo, in the fucking like right here in the center of the chest, or like at the top of the neck, like just a tiny ass logo, and it's just a plain fucking t-shirt.
It's a premium shirt,
$98.
$98. I'm sure somebody would fucking buy it. Oh. That's the biggest con ever, dude.
It really is, man.
When you see people coming up with streetwear, and it's literally a white t-shirt with some graffiti on it, $125 or some bullshit. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Go fuck yourself.
I can go buy fucking 10 shirts for like, who the fuck, $10?
Go to T-shirt Mart and buy 10 for 10, baby. Sometimes you can get 10, you can get 15 for 10 if you're feeling froggy and you want to negotiate.
Yeah, but fuck fashion, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck that. But man, that would be hilarious to do that, just to be an asshole.
True.
Anyways, all right, well, fuck, that does it for us. Go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can hear all of our fucking podcasts. At Game Rage Magazine, Instagram and TikTok. At Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. All gas, no trash official for Adam. And that's it. Fucking, we'll catch you on the next one. This has been the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also visit our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com, for a host of other podcasts and more. Thanks for listening.